I don't know if anybody could tell you the first time you met Julie Brown. She was always in our lives, it felt like.
She worked a lot of long hours when I was younger, but she always put my brother and I first. She always made time for a phone call, even if she was on deadline. We were always her biggest accomplishment. Work was just kind of extra.
Her children are number one in her heart for sure.
Anybody who's worked with Julie or been around Julie is not the least bit surprised about her accomplishments. Once she gets on a story, she is unrelenting. She worked mightily on a series of stories on firefighters in Philadelphia and why so many of them were getting hepatitis C. And she led the coverage for that for the entire city. The firefighters honored her for her coverage.
In 2014, Julie did a story called Cruel and Unusual. Cruel and Unusual documented a lot of the abuse going on of the mentally ill in prison, and most memorable, an inmate, Darren Rainey, who I believe suffered from schizophrenia, and the guards punished him by putting him in a scalding shower for almost 2 hours, and he died just the most horrific death. It was never really investigated until Julie got involved. We did a series together in 2015 on the women's prison at Lowell in Ocala, Florida.
What she's doing is giving voices to people who would probably still be suffering in prison or, being sexually assaulted.
She's just a kick-ass journalist. That's her legacy. She reminds most of us of how important it is of what we do for a living. And that's what she does. She just keeps on drilling. You start with her doggedness, her relentlessness, her refusal to take no, her ability to empathize with the people she was writing about. That whole package, I think, makes for an extraordinary reporter.
She digs in until she gets the right people and the right voices and exposes a lot of the corruption and abuse taking place. And when she told me about Jeffrey Epstein and about all the young women that he abused and that he sex trafficked, Julie tracked down about 80 of Epstein's victims, 80, and there were many, many more. She was able to get 4 of these brave young women to talk to us on camera.
The U.S. attorney in New York announcing those charges took time to credit some incredible investigative reporting in helping his office. When he said that, he was talking about the reporting of Julie K. Brown.
It was an incredible honor that they let us into their lives, and I think they did that because Julie is able to get them to a point where they trust her.
She's just really caring. She didn't do this story for notoriety. She did this story because she cared about these women. I hope that her legacy is giving a voice to people who don't have a voice. I think she's a real crime fighter. She really fights for justice for people who can't fight for it on their own, and I think it's very admirable.